Every market crash is a pop quiz, not for the financial system, but for what's left of human sanity. And every time, the results are just disastrous. People scream, they run, they trample each other, scrambling to sell the ownership certificates of their hard-earned assets at the absolute bottom, in exchange for a pile of paper money that's rapidly losing its value. I've watched this absurd play repeat itself countless times in my life. The actors change, but the script hasn't been altered by so much as a comma. Why do most people panic sell their stocks when the market crashes? The answer is embarrassingly short. There's only one fundamental reason. Asterisk, asterisk. From the very beginning, they had no earthly idea what they owned. Asterisk, asterisk. That's the whole truth of it. They thought they were buying a stock, a ticker symbol flashing on a screen, a lottery ticket to financial freedom. They were wrong. They misunderstood the nature of the game from the moment they stepped onto the field. Their reasons for buying are usually so flimsy, it's pathetic. Maybe it was a casual tip from a friend who looked successful at a dinner party. Maybe it was some analyst on a financial news channel painting a glorious picture of the future. Or maybe it was just because a stock chart looked like a rocket about to take off. They know nothing about the company's business model. They're blind to its financial health. They haven't bothered to look into the character of its management. And they've certainly never spent a moment thinking about its competitive position in the industry. What they're doing isn't investing. It's following the herd. It's gambling. It's handing over guardianship of their capital to a manic depressive lunatic named Mr. Market. So, when the tide turns and the stock price drops 20%, 30%, panic is the only logical outcome. Because in their frame of reference, the only thing that's real, the only thing they can feel, is that bloody red number on their statement getting bigger and bigger. That number is like a black hole, instantly sucking away all their reason, their courage, and their hope. Fear is always the direct product of ignorance. You're afraid of the dark because you don't know what's in it. It's the same in the market. You stare into the abyss of a falling stock price, and your mind is a total blank on the fundamentals of the business. All you see is the abyss itself. You don't know where the bottom is. You don't know when the fall will stop. You don't know what to hold on to. The only thing you can do is scream and run. No, people like us, we were able to not only hold on, but to empty our pockets and buy aggressively during the Black Monday of '87 or the financial crisis of. It wasn't because we're braver than everyone else. And it certainly wasn't because we have some crystal ball that predicts the future. Quite the opposite. We're absolute cowards. The only reason we dare to walk onto a field of screaming bodies to pick up treasures being thrown away like garbage is this. Asterisk, asterisk, we have a deep, almost painfully boring understanding of the companies we own. Asterisk, asterisk. We aren't buying a ticker symbol. They're buying a piece of a living, breathing business. Our conviction isn't built on the wild price quotes of a crazy Mr. Market. It's built on hundreds of hours of tedious research and decades of patient observation. When everyone else is screaming at the price on a screen, what we see in our minds is the company's wide moat, its excellent return on capital, its honest and shrewd management, and its unshakable brand in the minds of consumers. These things are the bedrock of a business's value. They don't just vanish overnight because some trader on Wall Street had a nervous breakdown. So, the next time you're about to hit the buy button, I want you to run a thought experiment. It's more important than any financial model. Quietly ask yourself this one question. Asterisk, asterisk. If the stock market were to close for 10 years starting tomorrow, with no way to trade at all, would I still be willing to buy this company at this price? Right now, asterisk, asterisk. If you hesitate for even a second, your homework isn't done. Your conviction is too weak to withstand a light breeze, let alone a hurricane. You're still a gambler holding a lottery ticket, not a farmer who owns the orchard. The market is a giant sieve. Its only function is to transfer wealth from the impatient and the ignorant to the patient and the knowledgeable. You stare at the price swings every day, heart pounding, feeling like you're part of some grand battle. But from where I'm sitting, 99% of that movement is just noise. Real investing happens away from the trade. It happens in the quiet of the late night, when you're alone with a pile of boring financial statements, trying to understand the essence of a business that most people call knowing is just a collection of information fragments floating in the air. They know the ticker symbol. They know yesterday's price change. They know some analyst's rating. But they don't know the core logic of how the company makes money, who its main competitors are, where its moat lies, how its management has allocated capital for the past decade. This kind of knowing is more dangerous than total ignorance because it gives you a false sense of security. Fear is the primary symptom of having no anchor of value. Your understanding of an asset is hollow. Any market fluctuation translates directly into a fluctuation in your gut. The price drops 10%, and 10% of your confidence evaporates. The price drops 50%, and 50% of your world collapses. Because the price is the only piece of driftwood you have to cling to. But what if you weren't clinging to driftwood, but to the railing of an ocean liner? The waves get rough. You might worry about getting seasick, but you're not worried about the ship sinking. The deep understanding is the only ticket that gets you off the driftwood and onto the liner. Where others see disaster, I see a discount. This sounds arrogant, but it's just a statement of fact. Imagine your favorite steak at a restaurant you've been going to for decades, costs $100. You know the quality. It's worth every penny. One day, the owner has a mental breakdown and marks the steak down to $50. What do? Do you panic and assume the steak has gone bad? Of course not. You immediately order another one. The market is that restaurateur who frequently loses his mind. During a panic, he's just mispricing all the best items on the menu. My job is to stay perfectly sane when the owner is going crazy. Courage is a badly misunderstood virtue in investing. People say you need tremendous courage to buy in a bear market. No, that isn't courage. It's the natural, rational response after you've done your homework. The real courage is this: when everyone around you is celebrating a bubble you don't understand, You have the guts to stand alone and do nothing. It's when your friends are getting rich, chasing fads, and laughing at you for being conservative. And you can still stick to your principles and sleep soundly at night. On this path, restraint requires far more courage than action. Your biggest enemy is never the market or a recession or even the institutions betting against you. Your biggest and only enemy is the person you see in the mirror every morning. It's him who makes you forget risk when you're greedy. It's him who makes you forget value when you're fearful. It's him who makes you give up on the miracle of compounding because you're impatient. If you can't conquer your own irrationality, beating anyone else in the market is just a temporary illusion. The price is what you pay. Value is what you get. People panic because they're staring at the price while knowing nothing about the value. The price is like the moon's phase. It waxes and wanes, affected by all sorts of gravitational pulls. The value is like the moon itself. Its mass and substance are constant. Your job is to calculate the mass of the moon, not to predict whether it will be full or crescent tonight. So, young man, when the next panic comes, try turning off that blinking screen. Go for a walk. Think about what you actually bought. Is it a real business that creates value for humanity? Or is it just a digital bubble formed by collective illusion? If you've done your homework, the answer will be crystal clear. You will find that the market's panic has nothing to do with you. It's just someone else's house on fire. As long as your house is built of stone and is far enough away, you might as well pour yourself a drink and enjoy the rare fireworks in the night sky. Don't try to catch a falling knife. That cliche is only half right. If you don't know what the knife is, trying to catch it is moronic. But if you're an expert who has studied knives your whole life, and you know this particular knife is made of solid gold, and you see it's about to land in a soft pile of cotton, then opening your arms to catch it as it falls is the opportunity of a lifetime. Where others see danger, you see opportunity. The difference between the two comes down to a single word: understanding. All right, I've said my piece. Let the noise outside continue to roar. Your world should be quiet. Before your next purchase, make sure you are so prepared that even if the market closed tomorrow for 10 years, you would sleep soundly, perhaps even smiling in your dreams for owning such a fine asset. Get to that point, and you've already won. The rest is just waiting for time to deliver the victory.